An IMPD officer shot in the line of duty earlier this afternoon. Multiple suspects now in custody. One still on the run this evening. You heard from IMPD leadership there a moment ago. I want to tell you what we have just learned in the last few minutes here. This started when Metro Police say they confirmed a carjacked vehicle. That one officer was pursuing that vehicle when we understand it pulled into an apartment complex about 2 miles from the hospital. They say there were 4 people inside that vehicle. At one point, one of them got out, turned, fired at officers. That officer returned fire but was hit 3 times, according to Metro Police. That officer was then able to apply a tourniquet to himself, ultimately, according to IMPD leadership, saving his life here. 3 suspects now in custody tonight. We understand the person who shot that officer is in custody at the hospital tonight in critical condition after that officer returned fire. According to Metro Police, all suspects are described as young adults. One person, though, still on the run tonight. Now, as far as that officer is concerned, Chief Bailey telling us he was able to talk to that officer, who he says is a 4-year veteran of this department. He says that officer is in a lot of pain, but good spirits. He was able to communicate with his family and colleagues. We understand Mayor Joe Hogsett was also here to talk to that officer. Chief Bailey, though, was very direct in his point that this is the second time in less than a week Metro Police have been targeted by citizens of this community. Here's what he shared with us just a few moments ago.
The attack that we saw today is a second attack on an IMPD officer in less than a week by a dangerous person armed with a weapon and the intent to kill. It's unacceptable for it to happen from community member to community member, but when it happens against an officer, a peace officer, whose job it is to protect, our community has to be outraged by that.
To the public is probably still.
So as for what's happening right now, we can tell you that officer is undergoing testing. It's not clear yet if that person will be able to be released from the hospital tonight. Chief Bailey also telling us, of course, tonight, every badge, every Metro Police officer is a person at the end of the day who has a family and colleagues to care for as well. He says the community tonight should be outraged, saying that this was, he spoke directly to that suspect who is still on the run, saying, turn yourself in, and officers won't stop until that person is located. We also heard this afternoon from Fraternal Order of Police President Rick Snyder, who started his address by saying, "Here we go again." He called the city a war zone, but then ended with a positive note saying evil did not win today, and this officer is alive to show that. So new developments this afternoon from Metro Police. Again, an officer shot in the line of duty but in stable condition at Eskenazi Hospital. 3 suspects in custody, 1 still on the run this evening. So Scott and Anne Marie, very early on in the investigation, but certainly more to come in the days to follow.
All right, Sam, reporting live from Eskenazi Hospital. Thank you so much for that very thorough and comprehensive report. You are watching 13 News at 6 o'clock. You're joining us as we have breaking news coverage. And all of this started near 16th Street and Lafayette Road.
And that's where that shooting happened around 2:15 this afternoon. Ella Rhodes continues our team coverage. She's been at the scene talking with neighbors and joins us. So, Ella, what are people saying about what happened today?
Okay, that woman that I talked to, she told me that she heard.
Yeah, neighbors have just been telling us that this isn't the first time something like this has happened in their neighborhood, and they're quite honestly just tired of all the violence that they are seeing. Now, this is the apartment complex that Sam mentioned where things went down, and that car that was stolen pulled over into a parking lot here, and the scene was a bit more active earlier today. You can see that some police officers are taking down that yellow tape. So just starting to wrap it up, but it is still an ongoing investigation. And Sam did mention earlier some of those updates that IMPD did provide for us, that someone is still on the run. Now, we are learning more about this scene, and IMPD did tell us that there was also a gun recovered at the scene as well. And something super important to note is that individuals in the community, they went and helped and responded to the officer here. And I wanted you to hear from this neighbor who is just upset about what happened.
know. I just hope that family or whatever happened over there is safe, and this has to stop. This is going on weekly. Like, it's too much crime. It's too much.
And like we said earlier, there is still one person on the run that IMPD says they are not going to give up, and they will find them, and they want that person turned in as soon as possible. Like we said, this is an ongoing investigation. So as we learn more information, we'll be sure to keep you updated. Anne Marie and Scott.
All right, Ella Rhodes reporting live for us tonight from that apartment complex today on the near northwest side where the shots were fired around 2:15 this afternoon. Thank you. We do want to let you know that we're going to stay on it. We're going to continue to follow this breaking news and bring you updates as soon as we get them. And we're going to do that on a variety of platforms, including WTHR.com, our news app, and here in our news broadcast.